1 in 10. The rest of it's environmental.
Wow.
And they're finding out that the BPA that's in all of those plastic water bottles,
Right.
Styrofoam cups, 100 times more toxic than what we've previously been hearing about. It's kind of like Fukushima. Yeah, once they sent the American scientists over, we were hearing about Fukushima all the time.
What?
And once they sent the American scientists over, and the scientists over there, and they came back and they said, "Wow, this is 1,000 times worse than we thought it was." Zippo. That was it. You didn't hear anything anymore. The plug was pulled. We did not hear anymore. Once our scientists came back and said, "Hey, 1,000 times worse than we thought."
1,000.
1,000.
Wow.
And nothing more on the news about that one. Keep you in the dark.
Not just, man, that's twice as bad. No, 1,000 times. Wow.
Yeah. And so we have, soy and corn that's used to fatten up the livestock. It also increases the resistance to the patented weed killers. The seed to toxic harvest. There's no safety studies. All the other countries ban it to prevent an onset of disease amongst their people.
Right.
They don't want to pay for all that.
Right.
Yeah, they got socialized medicine. They don't want to pay for it. They make sure that you're healthy, that your food's healthy. Even though, and everybody who wants to complain about the Affordable Health Care Act, who have dubbed it Obamacare, we're the only developed country that does not have.
Right.
We do not have something in place for the health of our people. Why? Because we're still driven by the insurance companies. We're a capitalistic country. It is still driven by the insurance industry. So the thing is that they make money on you being sick. You keep paying those premiums because you're going to need them when you go in and, hey, have things amputated, have more surgeries, be on just numerous different medications. I had a call the other night. A gal was released from the hospital, and I had a telephone call from someone, actually from my cousin, beside herself. This friend of hers was released from the hospital with 31 prescriptions. 31 prescriptions. This girl was born in 1975.
Oh, my goodness.
Do the math. She's 45 years old. Come on. Or no, she's 1975. No, she's 30. She's 37 years old. And 37, 30.
Yeah, I'm
too
trying to do the math.
I'm too jazzed up at the moment here. I mean, this is
We're on the
this
air.
is
I'm not gonna do
stupid.
that.
This is stupid. This is stupid. 31 prescriptions, and it's like, really? Does she go somewhere where I can get online here and I can go into her medical records and I can see what's going on here? I was given all the information. I pulled it up, and I pulled it up, and it was just she's 35. It's just it's got to be right. It's got to be right. It's got to be right. It's going to drive me crazy. Anyway, I pulled this up. She must have had 40 diagnoses. And she was sent home with 31 prescriptions.
Man.
Really? How can you organize taking 31 prescriptions?
Right?
And really, in all fairness, how can you give somebody all of these diagnoses when I'm looking at a history of the last 5 years from these providers, that she's just been on all of these medications, and the side effects alone. I mean, this is ludicrous. And it's like I told my cousin.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I just want to make one little point real quick. Just because a doctor has a degree, now on that degree it does say so-and-so has the authority to practice medicine. It doesn't mean that they do.
Yeah, right. Well, and I like to use the analogy also in this day and age of, you got one that graduates top in the class, and you got quite a few of them that graduate in the lower part of the class. How many times do they have to go try to take their state board exam test? Sure, you got the one and I hope you can find the one that graduated top in their class, and I hope you can find the one that passed the state exam test the first time around. But I'm going to tell you something. The one who graduated bottom of their class or lower end of their class and who took it 3, 4, 5 times, they're still called doctor. And they're not going to tell you how many times. It's kind of like in the old days, people used to say, oh, yeah, we'll ask that policeman for his badge number. Yeah, well, we see how well that works.
Right.
That doesn't work. It's just like, try asking your doctor how many times he had to take the state board exam test. He's not going to tell you the truth. And he or she might cop an attitude, and, they may not want you as their patient.
Oh, really? Just from that one
question? Oh, they'll fire
you.
Huh? Oh, yeah, because, you're going to do your homework.
Wait a minute. Did you say they'll fire you?
Oh, yeah.
Wait a minute. Isn't that supposed to be the other way around?
Oh, you can fire your doctor, but your doctor can fire you as well. Not fire you, but refuse to be your doctor. And there's a lot more of that happening these days. I'm hearing more and more and more where people will say, well, I went into the doctor and I told him I wanted to do this and that. And the doctor is like, if you're not going to do exactly what I recommend for you to do, and if you are not going to take your prescribed prescriptions, then I will not work with you.
Wow. Because
I don't believe there's not enough research on herbs. Excuse me? We still have greater than 75% of prescription drugs come from isolated properties removed from herbs that they put their other chemicals around, and they can patent them.
So, not enough research on herbs. So, I
maybe
guess
we've got that suppression.
4,000 to 5,000 years of documentation on.
Oh,
really
well, they want their double-blind studies, and what that they're screwed up anyway. It's like 2004. We've got states that have mandated legislation for immunizing, for vaccinating children and adults. They've mandated it. They mandated it on a CDC research study that was done on vaccinations. And then what do we get here in August? One of the main doctors that was part of the team of the 2004 propaganda that came out of the CDC, it's false. They all took money from pharmaceutical companies to make the tests askew.
Oh, I don't doubt that one bit.
Again, it goes back to money, the almighty dollar. And so, all
right.
So,
like the
so we've
supposed Ebola thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's another show.
Yeah. So we have no safety studies that were ever conducted. Other countries are all about preventing disease because of their healthcare system. We take the United States takes the concept, well, it's just never been proven to be dangerous, so we're going to do this. But our health care is still fueled by the insurance industry. Okay?
Right.
So
okay.
there's no money in healthy people.
No, there's not.
If you're not sick, if you're healthy, you're not seeing the doctor. They're not
Right.
making any money on you.
Right?
The hospital...
They're not making that $4.5 trillion per
Exactly.
year.
Exactly. And a doctor that's doing a residency, before they can get signed off on their residency, when you come into that ER, they have to diagnose X amount of tonsillectomies. They have to diagnose X amount of appendectomies.
Diagnose.
And require surgery. That ER room has to be used. There is money to be made in that operating room. In order for you to be signed off after your residency program, you better have had X amount of recommendations for tonsils and adenoids to be removed, tubes to be put in the ears, appendixes removed, gallbladders removed. It's all part of it. Once you make your quota, and you're done with your 2 years or 3 years, hey, then you get to go on and go take the test. Okay?
Wow.
Yeah. So, so in the 80s, or in the 90s, the scientists engineered impregnating the DNA of corn, wheat, soy, and other grains with their patented chemicals. And the herbicide into the DNA of the seeds, and then started growing all of this. And it's called, the EPA actually regulated corn was listed as an insecticide.
Wow.
Yeah. Listed corn as an insecticide.
Holy, wow.
Okay.
Why would you want to eat that?
And it's because when it gets to a certain point and the crop starts to flower and develop, hey, it's impregnated with that, with the chemical in the seed, and it produces its own insecticide.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they want to make, they want to make food out of it. And so what's so sad about this is it's called substantial equivalence, is what they call it. Substantial equivalence.
Okay.
And that's a term that is used to facilitate the approval process for introducing it. The tobacco industry uses substantial equivalence. That's how the tobacco industry has functioned. It's a total conceptual concept. All of these new chemicals in the U.S., other countries in the world do not allow them. They would never feed them to their animals or to the humans. And then the business model on all of this stuff with this genetically modified seeds and stuff. The taxpayers' money, your money out there, everybody that's listening, all the taxes that you pay, the taxpayers' money is paying for these crops to be grown with the chemicals in the way that the U.S. subsidizes these corporations that grow our food supplied with the patented chemically engineered seeds.
Gee.
There's some things, that have been going around. Look at some of these companies, the oil companies, the food companies, that, when they went to go pay their taxes on the corporations, they ended up getting all kinds of money back. That's your